What's up, everybody? I'm John.
I'm Eric, and we just got some new toys.
I'm so excited! Let's check them out. So it's quite a big box. A little tricky fitting it between the stairs, which don't move, and the corner of the mill here, but we did slide it right in. And hopefully we don't have to move it too much after we get the crate off. Maybe we'll slide it back a few inches, but that's about it. So I guess we've done these unboxings more than once, huh?
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of good at it. I mean, when the mill came in, we had a big box like that. When the surface grinder came in a big box. Even the tumbler, I think, came in a box, a crate. I mean, so we got some absolutely delicious goodies today. This is our accessories palette. It's got all the lathe tools, the computer, the monitor, all kinds of accessories. I forget exactly what's all in there because the list is so long. And here's the new enclosure for the mill, for the 1100 mill. Boom. Walls, door, lights on the top, makes it totally sealed and waterproof, and it's going to be amazing. Keeps the chips away from the floor, inside the mill where they belong. Lets us really blast the coolant, and then, so the enclosure box, and then the lathe box. Some good deliveries today. It was a lot of fun. So while Eric is over here, there he is. He's uncrating the lathe, and I figured, well, I can't just leave the mill like sitting here doing nothing, not making any money. So while we're uncrating everything, I'm going to run a sheet of pocket clips. This is the topside operation for 24 pocket clips. You want to hand me one of the backside ones over there? Thank you. Here are the backside to 24 pocket clips. It's flipped over. Each one is individually screwed in. And I'm going to mill the top side. It takes about 2.5 hours, completely unattended. So while that's working away, we can unbox all the cool new stuff. So Eric's got the crate off. I've got the machine all set up here, ready to go, ready to hit go. And yeah, I mean, the things always look bigger in the crate than they do in their position. It's awesome. What are you laughing at?
I thought it would be bigger. That's what she said. That's self-deprecating, isn't it?
Anyway, so I'm not sure how close we want to put it to the wall. This is less than 12 inches probably. I don't know. We'll keep it here for now, and if we need to shimmy it back a little bit in the future, we can, of course. It's obviously got to go down a few inches once we get the pallet out. And there's room on that side, which is good. Got the electrician coming in a few days to put a 220 plug for this mill, or for this lathe. I'm not used to saying lathe. Alright, so while I got the mill set up with clips, I've been running them for the past... timer stopped working. No. I got new stopwatches. 25 minutes, not so bad. Got them all profiled. Love it. So anyway, I've got a finishing end mill in there right now. Turn the vacuum back on, hit Alt-R. Put my glasses on. So that guy's just doing a finishing profile pass, no big deal. But it makes them all pretty. Okay, so that's that. Here's all the remnants from the lathe box. This is the chuck guard. Can't really see from that picture. And the air compressor's very common. Well, getting back to normal, cleaning up. We spent the past few weeks trying to really clean up and kind of maximize the space in this place because I knew this was coming soon, so I really wanted to make room and make it kind of freer and easier in here. So it was really worth doing because now we actually have room to like move around and put stuff. And so we're trying to be really on top of our sweeping and cleaning. But anyway, the lathe is completely unboxed, and Eric's halfway through using the lifting kit. I was out picking up my daughter from school, so he was done with the lifting kit before I got back. So we'll go over that in a minute. That's a pile of cardboard, some extra boxes. We're looking at them going, hey, those are good boxes. We could use them for something. Here's the extra plywood from the boxes that it came in. And we're actually getting a new roof on the house right now, so the roofer guy is here. The roofer guy was telling us a little pro tip if you ever use a ladder on your house is to always tie it to the top, because especially he's up there by himself. He said in the country with the wind and everything, he's had them fall over and he's had to jump off the roof to get down. So always tie it off. Good little pro tip. And here I've got a pro tip for you. So the clips are done. It's been 4 hours, but it hasn't been running for 4 hours. So they're all done. Turned out great, except the engraving end mill was getting kind of dull because I've been using it for other stuff for a long time. So, you know, this is kind of a featured engraving on our knives, just like I talked about in my last video with the making the pivots. That pivot engraving is the featured logo. So we want a really good sharp end mill. So actually, I put a new end mill in and I re-zeroed it, and I just ran it at the exact same depth again. And to make sure that it was cutting, I took a Sharpie and I Sharpied the logo before cutting it, just on a couple of them, so that I can see, like you can obviously see it recut it, and worked. And then I can look close and see that the logo does, the engraving does look really good and crisp now. So that was a pro tip. Anyway, let's get back to this lathe, since that's what the video is all about. I love it already. Okay, a big difference between buying the lathe versus buying the mill is the mill comes with the base in one package, one crate, and the mill in another crate, and then the enclosure, I think, in a third crate, like the base pans. So you have to use an engine hoist or crane or whatever to actually lift the mill onto the stand, which is kind of annoying. We used an engine hoist. We got a video on that, but it worked. Whereas the lathe comes completely assembled. Like Eric took the crate off and here it sits, which is really handy. I like it because the guy delivering it has a pallet jack, so we just sort of shimmied it into the corner. It was a really tight fit between the edge of the mill and the stairs there, but we got it in, and I had to pop the top off to see which orientation the lathe needed to be in. But then he was able to just put it like right where it belongs. And now we probably don't have to move it anymore. And we weren't sure how close to keep it to the wall, so we gave it that much. And Eric's in the process of doing the lifting kit. I'll get him to explain that in a second. But he said no closer than that to the wall, because you have to get both arms in there and your shoulders and everything. And if you're a big guy, it's not going to happen. Anyway, Eric, you want to come explain? Yeah. Explanizzle? What you doing?
Having fun.
Sweepaging. You're making YouTube wait.
Good. Feel the power.
Yeah, you have control over thousands of people right now, making them wait. You can't reach the garbage can. Alright.
Okie dokie.
So explain what I missed.
So yeah, there's a big pallet here. It sticks out a little bit.
Big pallet underneath the mill?
Yeah.
Or the lathe?
Yeah, holding the whole thing up. And then these handy feet, they fit around the edge of the pallet.
Okay.
And then you just bolt it up.
So this is the optional lifting kit.
Yeah.
For an extra, I forget what it cost. It allows you to lift the lathe up, right?
Yep.
and slide the pallet right out,
Right.
in case you don't have a crane or whatever yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So how was the installation? How did it work? Was it worth it?
The installation was totally easy. You just bolt those on really quick. And then, yeah, you just throw those in, and the little feet here have a little cup. And you just make sure the thingy goes in the thingy and start turning.
So bad. I love it. And then, yeah, so I guess you just lifted it up one at a time or something?
Yeah, I did a little bit on each one and kind of went around and lifted it higher and higher until I could actually get the pallet out. And I had to go quite high because these stairs were right in the way, so I couldn't pull the pallet out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you just bolt.
Oh, sweet.
The pallet was bolted in there, so you just undo it and it falls out.
And then you put the feet on.
Yeah.
And the coolant tray right there, but you can see the new feet he put on there and in the back.
Yeah.
All right, and now we got to lower it, right?
Yeah. You should pull the coolant tray out just for good measure.
Rocky doke. Well, we're gonna lower it and probably figure out how to level it and all that. What is up? Another day, another project. Still assembling the lathe. Right now I'm running handles on the mill. And let's check out this lathe. So I've been playing with the gang tooling, getting it all mounted up. Once I actually figure out what I want to use to do the jobs that I'm doing, I'll probably go more in depth. But they've got a great selection on their website of, I got everything here from Tormach. So this is a 3-position gang block, another 3-position gang block, some ER16 collet holders. I can put my drill bits and taps in here. Little inside boring bar, but it can be used for inside or outside. And then same for, it's technically an internal boring bar, but I can use it for internal threading bar, but I can use it for external threading too. And then other stuff, parting blade holder, etc., etc. So I don't have this much travel, so I can't actually fit that many tools on it. But once, like, it's not even under power yet, so I can't move it to see exactly how much travel I have. But electrician should be coming in today. Get it wired up. I've got my list for him. Right now I'm installing the collet closer, which will, with a little lever drawbar here, will allow me to open and close the collet so I can put another workpiece in, pull the bar out, really easily with just a little hand crank. So they installed this black piece and the silver piece, and it's got 3 adjustment bolts here, and you have to get it concentric. So the instruction manual says get it to less than 1 thou of concentricity. See if I can get the glare going. Very happy with that. It's not even moving. And yes, it is working. Yeah, that is perfectly concentric, like within a tenth probably. So I'm very happy with that. That's cool. Yeah, so it's kind of fun taking the covers off and everything and poking into this lathe and seeing how they did everything. Way down in there's a huge 3 horsepower motor, way bigger than any motor I've seen before, at least in my shop. You know, the mill has a 1.5 horsepower motor up in the head there, behind my Viking head. And the 3 horsepower is just quite a bit bigger. It's awesome. What else? It's got a really cool rotary encoder, pulleyed off of the main spindle. So it's not actually like they didn't put it here because you need the bar to go through here. So it's really cool how they just put a belt drive and then did that. And that will let this encoder know exactly what rotation the spindle is in at all times, mostly just for threading purposes, so that you can cut threads on the lathe. Too bad they don't have like a servo motor control where you can actually turn it and break it and hold it at 45 degrees and then 90 degrees, and then you can do milling and stuff on the lathe, but that adds complexity a lot. So yeah, I've been out here for about an hour. Let's see, what time is it? 7:13 a.m. My boy. Yeah, I'm just having fun. It's probably too loud for you with this thing going. In there right now I've got a 1/16th end mill, and you can see I'm doing the lock bar slot and all the hole features. Alright, so the electrician just came and went and got a lot of good stuff done. He's going to come back on Friday and give me more plugs on this wall, like for the grinder and the surface grinder and all that stuff. It's good having an electrician as your neighbor, so that's really handy. The other good thing about having an electrician come in is you can install lighting like with his eyes closed. So we have 2 8-foot lights with 4 tubes each of the daylight bulbs, the 5500K, awesome, super bright, amazingly good quality light. Already it's so much different in here, just the lighting and the way it looks. And I probably can't look up as much like I'm doing right now because the lights are going to glare a lot, but keep that in mind. The lathe, he got the wiring plugged in, so you put a little thingy right there, boom, breaker box. And the lathe comes with the wiring plug with no plug on it because there's so many different styles. They didn't want to just assume it would be one style, so it just comes, cut off wires with a cord not extremely long, probably 6 feet long or something, but it's long enough. And yeah, we give it a quick little bump. Like the CNC computer is not hooked up yet, but if I just turn that and turn the main power on first, hit the bump, you can hear it's running, and the little machine light goes on. I can hear the fan right there on. So it has power, obviously, which is excellent. Unfortunately, I can't move it yet because the computer's not hooked up. Although that'll only take not very long to hook up, so I guess I'll do that next. In other news, my handles are somewhat done. I got all the important stuff done, the lock bar cut out, the holes and everything, and now I'm going to do all these 3D machined instead of my normal honeycomb pattern or whatever. They're all going to be 3D machined like this guy. I've got a few different patterns that I do for the 3D, so it's pretty awesome. Eventually I will do a full in-depth how to do 3D machining kind of thing, but for now, meh. Takes a lot of time to do that. Takes a lot less time to just run it and make money. So I'm going to do that. Now we're making pivots. Howdy! So today marks the 2-week anniversary of since we got this lathe, and we've got it all set up now and running nicely. And I just want to quick wrap up this install video with a few little notes that we've learned. Most important thing is we put the Grimstone knife sticker on it. You know, you got to do that. I got the bar puller all set up. This is a really sweet thing. Lets us put a bar, long bar, and kind of make it semi-automatic. Yeah, that works really great. Got the splash pan set up, or the shield, the coolant guard. Works quite good. I wish the shock was a little bit more powerful. It seems a little weak at the top. It works, but I wish it was a little stronger. So I'll mention that to Tormach. No big deal. Got the gang tools all set up in a configuration that works for what I'm trying to do right now. You'll see that I have them rotated upside down, and I'll probably go into more detail on that in a future video, but it lets me work on the top side of the part, which is all the positive values, like X positive instead of X negative, and that's what the CAM program likes to spit out, is positive values. So anyway, I put a little LED strip in here because it gets kind of dark, whereas when you go like this, it's well lit. I wonder if this would be a good filming location. Maybe. Should be. So yeah, little things. We got the coolant all set up, so it drains into there. You can see I've been making some chips. The computer all set up with the arm and everything. Tormach basically rewrote the Mach 3 interface that they use on the mill, which is more of a not open source but sort of public program. So they rewrote it and made their own screens and everything, and it's kind of weird to get into at first, but now that I'm learning it, it's becoming really intuitive and really nice. So there's only really, 6 tabs, but it's got everything you need. And if I load a file, there's the file right there. So those are all my tool paths to do this file. And it works great. I've made probably almost 10 parts with it so far, and I'm absolutely loving it. It is so much fun. So future videos will show me actually making stuff. But just to give you an example, okay, this shop was clean before we got the lathe. This was like all emptied out, and now it's just an absolute mess. This table was empty before we got the lathe, and now it's full of all the cool junk that we got with the lathe. Cool junk, yeah. This was it. It's just a mess everywhere. It's driving me nuts. It was lean for about 2 minutes, and then the lathe came in. Anyway, where's the part I'm looking for? Right here. So this is the very first thing that I made on the lathe. Just an aluminum bar. I coated this in SolidWorks and HSM Works, and the purpose of this was to see if HSM Works can spit out the code that I needed to in order to do the arcs and do all the turns and everything. And it took a little tweaking, but the code worked when I ran it. If anybody's using the Tormach Lathe with HSM Works, let me know. I'll give you my post processor. I got it from Tactical Keychains, and I tweaked it a little bit. That seems to work. Anyway, first part successful. I was thrilled to watch that guy run. And then I started making these lock bar stabilizer screws. And I numbered them all. There's 1, there's 3. So what this guy is, it's so small it's hard to even see in film. It's a tiny little screw with a big head on it. 440 threads, really short, like 70 thousandths of screw stick out. Really small and intricate, and it takes 4 tools to do that. So I've made 7 of them. just getting my tolerances down pat and getting all the little chamfers right. Here's number 7, and I'm really happy with this one. It fits into the handle that I need it to, and it's perfect now. And it takes 1:45 to run, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to start doing a video on that. Maybe I'll film it right after I turn this one off. But yeah, really happy with how this thing is working. Takes up a relatively small footprint in the shop. You know, this table was in that corner before and had an old manual lathe on it, and I actually like having the table in the middle of the shop. It's on wheels. We might push it that way a little bit. Yeah, what else can I ramble about? We had the electrician come in to wire up the lathe for 220 volts, and while he was here, he also put in, let's see, new things. He put in an outlet right there for our wonderful heater, which is basking me in heat right now. I love it. And then he put in plug, and another plug over there. So from that plug we can run the surface grinder and the tumbler, and from these plugs we can do the new dust filter we just got and the grinder and all that stuff, instead of running everything off of this, which is off of that, which is just off of this little plug. As Eric called it, Homer Simpson wiring. There's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, and we got new lights while he was here. Huge, incredibly huge difference in lighting. I mean, holy cow. We just had 2 little incandescent bulbs, one right there and one right there, or fluorescent bulbs, but just the little ones, the household ones. To go from 2 of those to 8 fluorescent tubes is an amazing world of difference. I've probably said 50 times, holy crap, it's bright in here. 52 now, yeah. So it's so bright under here that in the corner it actually feels dark sometimes because there's no direct lighting there. But over the lathe I do have one. So anyway, that wraps up the lathe install video. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this thing. I love it already. So it took me 2 weeks before I'm making parts. The first week was just waiting for the electrician basically and getting it installed, but yeah, thrilled, love it, can't wait to keep working on it. Can't wait to turn this camera off so I can make another part. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.